Cul-de-sac here. We're at Quimby's Books with Jon Ginoli from Pansy Division. He's on a book tour right now for his memoir, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Deflowered, and about his life in Pansy Division, which he founded in 1989? 91. So how is it touring back in Illinois? Do you like being back here?
I do like being back here. I mean, I still feel like a Midwestern boy sometimes. But at the same time, I did leave, and I've been gone for a while.
Right.
So I've been 20 years in California, so, you know, I say I like the Midwest, but I gave it up. But no, I do like coming back. I think the Midwest is kind of underrated, but that could just be because it's my home. But I like being back.
All right. So how did you get started on writing Deflowered? What kind of prompted this look back?
I had been... during the 90s when we were really active, I had kept a few tour diaries, not on a consistent basis, but especially on tours that seemed like they were going to be important, like when we opened for Green Day, our first European tour, a couple other times. And I had these tour diaries, and I thought these were really entertaining. I thought these are really good. And other people who I'd talked to about like all my Pansy Division adventures said, you should write a book. You have a lot of good stories. So I started doing it, but it was very off and on. I thought I started almost 10 years ago, but I never stayed at it very long. I'd write for a while, I'd write a little bit, then I wouldn't write for a few more months. But I finally got more than halfway through and thought, this is looking good. So I finished it up, and it's still taken a couple years for it to come out.
Yeah, persistence pays off, though.
Yes, and also deciding that I really want to get it done. It's like, you know, it's not even persistence so much as just getting my shit together so that I can complete it, work on it consistently.
Are you looking to do more writing or branching out into other types of writing, you know, like fiction, maybe some short stories?
I'm not going to be writing any fiction, no. I don't really see myself as that kind of writer, but I would like to do more writing. I'm not really sure what. One of the things I want to do that I thought of in doing the process of writing the book, or actually putting the book out, is that Pansy Division is pretty well documented, and we, you know, are helping to document ourselves by me doing the book and the documentary film that came out about us last year. But there are a lot of bands who are our peers from that time in the early 90s, the sort of queercore explosion, that are kind of invisible, and I'd like to try to compile all that stuff and make the sort of definitive queercore CD. That's my next project. That's a process that will, or a project that won't make any money. So, you know, I think about what I'm going to do next after this. Well, you know, that won't be my job. It'd be a fun thing I want to work on.
All right. This is just taking an excerpt from the book, but I just was reading along, and you're talking about kind of everyone's process for coming out, how it was different and everything. And you mentioned it, Chris. I just remember the one line that you said, deciding he was gay. It was like after he had finally come out.
Well, it's a deciding, but what I mean by deciding is you decide whether you're going to live a life as your true self, or if you're going to deny it and try to cover it up. So it wasn't like I had a choice or he had a choice about being gay. The choice is whether to be out about it, to be out of the closet, and to be true to yourself.
All right. Do you stand anywhere like kind of on that spectrum, or do you think it's not really politically relevant, like nature versus nurture? Does it matter to you? Is that...
It doesn't matter to me. I just think whatever causes it, it is. And I feel like my life and people that I know generally, being out and being honest about who they want to love is a real basic decision in your life. So I always have thought that being true to that is going to make you happier, even if life has plenty of frustrations and you know, problems from the choices that you make. It's the choice is how you decide to live it, though, and I think that's pretty clear where I stand on that.
So, how has the book tour been going so far in the other cities? You're kind of halfway through?
No, I'm about a not
third.
even a third, maybe a quarter of the way through.
Partway through.
It's been good. It's been interesting too, because people have said to me, you know, if you get 10 people for a book reading, it's really successful, and I believe them. But having played with my band and going out on the road, you know, it's different. So I'm adjusting to the fact that yes, fewer people coming than than I'm used to seeing at our shows is okay. But yeah, it's been good. It's a few places have had great turnouts, but it's just mostly been good, okay. And I'm looking forward to some of the cities coming up. That'll be really fun. I'm hoping tonight will be good.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about your new album with Pansy Division? It came out just about the same time as the book. So kind of what went into creating that? What were you inspired by kind of the look back, or is it a whole new beast?
It isn't really related to the book, although I did have to go back and write an extra chapter, because when I finished the book, when I first declared the book finished, it was at the lowest point of Pansy Division's activity, when people were in school and people had full-time jobs that were precluding touring. So it seemed like, even though we hadn't ground to a halt, that I think there was one 10-month period where we went without doing any shows, and we'd never gone that long without doing something. So it seemed like it was on the verge of kind of dribbling to a halt. But I had 2 songs that I really wanted to do, and I knew that we weren't going to have time to do an album. So I said to everybody, look, I want to record these 2 songs. I think it'd be sad if they never got recorded, if we're not going to have time to make another album. And I didn't know if anybody'd be available to do them. I thought I can record them with other friends. I just think these are really good songs. And they said, no, we want to do it. And the guitarist and drummer in our band at that time had another band. They were playing in together, and they were going into the studio to record. So we took a couple extra days and just tacked a Pansy Division session onto the end of their recording session. And we ended up recording 4 songs, and it went so great that it really renewed our enjoyment about doing the band and doing recording projects. So we ended up, it used to be that we'd play all the songs for months and get them down and then go in the studio. This time we learned them through demos that we were sending each other, and we got together, learned them one day, and recorded them the next day. Absolutely the opposite of the way we used to do it and the way that I would like to do it, but it turned out so well. We were so happy with the results that I'm just amazed and really happy, and we're really proud of it.
Awesome. And so you're going on a tour for that soon too. Can you tell us a little bit about the upcoming tour so people are in the know, trying to pimp you out here?
So I'm doing this book tour, and the book tour is going to end in June, the first part, and then we'll do a band tour of the Midwest and the East Coast. Then I'm going to do 2 more weeks of book tour in the East Coast, come back, have a month off, and then Pansy Division will do the West Coast. And I'd hoped we would be able to tour more this year because it's our first album in 6 years. But people have jobs and obligations that keep them from taking a long stretch of time off. So we'll do what we can. I just quit my job that I've had for almost 10 years, so I can do this 5 to 6 months of book tour and band tour. Even though the economy is terrible and it's not a good time to quit a job, I feel like this may be the only book I ever do. So I really wanted to go out and try to present it to the world, get it out to people. All the work that I'm doing this year, the movie that's come out about us, that's come out on DVD, our new album, my book, I don't know if I'll see any money from any of it, but it just felt really important to do, and I have money saved, so I'm not going to run out of money this year. I'll have to get a job later this year again, but I felt like I'm going to go out there and just take some risks, financial risks, just to do what I want to do. Not everybody can do that, so I feel lucky that I'm able to do that.
Well, good. All right, well, this has been Jon Ginoli from Pansy Division. We're at Quimby's Books, Chicago landmark, and you have 3 other ways of finding Pansy Division besides their tour upcoming. You have Deflowered, you have That's So Gay, the new album, and the Pansy Division documentary.
Yes, and pansydivision.com will get you way more info than you probably need.
Well, there you go.
On all of that.
All right, well, thank you, Jon.
You're welcome. This is the manly handshake.
You have to learn this.
Yeah, right on, man. Dude, good interview.